Right guys, I'm going to talk to you about preparing paint to put in your airless sprayer today, and it doesn't really matter about preparing your paint for the airless sprayer. This is preparing your paint in general, but specifically if you're going to be using an airless sprayer, then it's important that you do some things with your paint. Now, if you're like me and you keep like contract emulsion, say white matte, because obviously you could probably see behind me the walls have been plastered by me obviously, and it needs a mist coat, so this will have to be watered down first. But quite a lot of people talk about straining paint. So what is straining paint? Now here, I did my ambidextrous trying to catch the strainer thing. This is a paint strainer. It's a toughnet. Here we go, and it's some details on the website there on the packaging. Now these are available from mypaintbrush.co.uk, where I buy my painting products from. They're really good people down there, and this is the first time we're opening this today, so I'm going to open it now just to show you what it is, so we can get it out of packaging. Just chuck that away somewhere, don't need it. Here we go. So obviously somebody's come up with a product and this is it. Now generally speaking, you could just buy a pair of tights and do this for paint straining, but alternatively a pool net, you know, one of those nets that they put in pools for taking the leaves out, one of those will work. I did use one of those in the past, but this is a specifically designed and made net. So there you can see it's got little holes in it to help you strain the paint, and all you do is put it over the top of your scuttle before you paint. Now I've poured the paint in here already because I intend to use the bucket and not the scuttle for the airless sprayer, but if you're using a roller you'll probably be using your scuttle. Now I'm just going to show you something, so I'm going to grab the camera now to highlight why we need to strain the paint. Right, so here we go. Now it does need a good stir, but immediately you can see little bits in the paint here, some black stuff there. So this paint has been in the can obviously, but if you look round the sides here, I'm just going to pick at it a little bit because we are going to strain it, so it doesn't matter. You see all these bits where they've dried? That's what that is. This is what this paint strainer will help prevent, and it'll stop you clogging your machine up. Because although it's got this, which will strain the paint anyway, and it's also got a filter in the handle, if this just gets clogged up, it will just slow the paint going in, and obviously slow the paint going out. So there are precautions actually on the machine, because some people take this off. I wouldn't recommend taking that off if I was you. I would make sure you strain the paint, and also straining the paint helps aerate the paint as well, so it makes it more smooth and it gets all the lumps and everything out, but mainly it gets all these little bits out of the paint. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean this bucket, then I'm going to come back and then we're going to strain the paint. So watch this space, I'll be back in a minute. So there we go guys, a nice clean bucket to start with, and you'll notice it's got water in it. Now, you might be thinking, why have you put water in it? Well, what I'm going to do is create a mist coat. First, like I said, we need to get this room mist coated. New plaster needs mist coating. So, I hope this is going to fit over the bucket now, because I just had a thought, because it is square. So, that needs to go over your bucket as much as you can. Now normally you would put this on your scuttle, but I'm using the bucket, so let's pop the brush down somewhere. Then it's just a case of pouring your paint into the like that, and it takes some time for it to go down, You can help it along the way with the brush, like this, just pushing it through. Because of the volume of paint that I'm using here, I'm going to have to do it a bit at a time. This is going into the water beneath, so we'll get that mixed in with the water. So I'm using Leyland latex paint here. It's a contract emulsion, and it's brilliant for on new plaster, especially doing mist coats. Now if you're a DIYer or somebody like that, then you could just use cheap emulsion. Doesn't matter what you use, as long as it's matte. You can buy specialist paints for new plaster, but old school is matte emulsion. So just forcing it through. You could probably get some clips to put on there if you're doing this with a bucket. So but a mist coat needs to be really thin, so it needs to be about 50-50. I mean, this is quite a thick emulsion, so and doing this is relatively a messy job, so I would wear gloves doing it. So you've got your gloves on. So let's go into the water, so the volume of the water is going up. So I forgot to mention that this is reusable, this net as well, so you can just reuse it. So I think I've got enough paint in there now, because it's lifting it up through the, because obviously I put water in first because I want to make a mist coat, and there's not a lot left in there anyway, so there we go. So when you've got enough paint in, it's just a case of straining the rest out. Actually we could put a bit more in there, won't make much difference. Right, so once you've got enough paint you can just do this. Probably the messiest part of the job, but never mind. And then you just squeeze it all out. Right, so then all you need to do is rinse this one out. So we'll go and do that now. I'm going to change my gloves though, take them off at least, so I can pick the camera up before anybody says, "Where do you do that for?" Just so I can pick the camera up. There we go guys, ready for use again. So guys, ready for use again. Just like a big giant hairnet that, and like I said, it is designed to fit over a scuttle like that and hopefully strain your paint properly. I've done it in a bucket, but there you go. Well worth getting one. Once you've rinsed it out like that, rinses out quite easily. You can just do that and it's ready for use again, like I say. Brilliant little gadget to have. and it's well worth straining your paint, especially if you're using airsprays or any kind of spray equipment, because it's very fine, the nozzles, so you don't want it clogging up as it's going through the system. So there you go guys, straining your paint, preparing your paint makes a lot of difference to the job and to the equipment that you're using. So thanks for watching the video again, thanks for subscribing, thanks for liking the video, thanks for leaving comments. I'm doing another video straight after this one, and that's setting up the Erbauer airless sprayer, which is pretty much the same for any airless sprayer, but these are just the basics. Getting a few comments about my sprayers not spraying, that kind of thing, so I'm going to address them on the next video. So if you're watching that, you'll find out why your sprayer might not be spraying. If it's anything else, you need to get it repaired or take it back or buy a new one. So there you go guys, thanks for watching the video again, and I'll see you in the next video.